said they'd be there for us, and if May 27's reunion is anything to go by, they didn't disappoint. Welcome and welcome back everybody to the #1 home for film and television lovers everywhere. Today, we're looking back at one of television's greatest sitcom, Friends, and looking into the recent reunion that had everyone talking.
You know, when we have breaks from rehearsal,
the show took the 90s and early 2000s by storm with its witty characters and tangled up romances. We watched Ross, Rachel, Joey, Phoebe, Monica and Chandler juggle the daily highs and lows of love and living. The series also made overnight stars of actors like David Schwimmer, Lisa Kudrow and Jennifer Aniston, who went on to have illustrious Hollywood careers after the series wrapped. Well, on May 27th, after 10 seasons, 17 years and a whole lot organization, the stars of the hit sitcom sat down for an unforgettable reunion with some pretty big bombshells and even bigger reveals. It wasn't the usual reboot, as the actors got together to talk not as their characters, but as themselves. Which stars suffered a serious injury? Which celebrity guest appearances were out of this world? Let's find out. If you're a major film and television fan, then make sure you subscribe to our channel for more nostalgia-filled content just like this. Now, let's get to it. Dislocated shoulders and behind-the-scenes moments. Hosted by the ever-hilarious James Corden and featuring stars like Lady Gaga, BTS and Justin Bieber, the Friends family reunion was an extravaganza like no other. Often toggling between the reconstructed set and a swanked upstage, the cast went through some of their tougher moments and some seriously sweet encounters. Zoom calls, which have become a reality of post-COVID life, were also present. Stars like David Beckham, Mindy Kaling and Kit Harington all spoke about their memories of watching the show.
Everyone's lives are very nice, and they would have to unravel all those good things.
And how the series impacted their lives in different ways. Boy band BTS, which has blazed various trails of their own, stopped by to say hello as well. Though some fans may have preferred an intimate 2-hour special featuring the cast and crew of the 1994 series, it was interesting and sometimes awkward to see the additional celebrities. Even though the show was packed with guests and events like a fashion show, some serious bombshells were dropped, and the cast let us in on what really went on behind the scenes. Here's what went down. Matt LeBlanc dislocated his arm. Ouch and yikes. The entire cast was just as uncomfortable as we were watching the footage from the episode titled The One Where No One's Ready. The episode looked like a whole lot of fun, but Matt let us know that he suffered a painful injury.
Gotta take him to the hospital, and so that was the end of filming.
In the episode, Joey, played by LeBlanc, and Chandler, played by Matthew Perry, was fighting over a seat. The two would usually get into shenanigans, and Matt was meant to jump into the seat obnoxiously, which he had done successfully in numerous takes. 3 is a charm, but the production team shot the 4th sequence, and that was where the cookie crumbled. Matt recalls the crazy moment saying,
and I went just to jump over the coffee table and somehow tripped, and my legs went up in the air, and my shoulder came out of the socket.
David Crane, who was co-creator of the series, chimed in saying, "They've got to take him to the hospital, so that was the end of the filming. It wasn't an episode where we could just shoot all other scenes. This was the one episode where it's just the 6 of them. They're all in it, and we're done for the night." If you remember the episode, you'll realize by the next week in the continuation titled The One with a Jam, Joey showed up with a sling. The injury was written into the story, and all was well. An executive producer added more details to the memory, saying, "We put that into the show, then we waited until he was okay to go back and film the ending of The One Where No One's Ready." Kevin Bright continued saying, "What started out to be the simplest Friends episode ended up taking the longest amount of time to shoot. Well, the show must go on, and it did. But this isn't the only never-before-seen moment that the cast revealed on Friday night." Jennifer Aniston almost didn't play Rachel. Close your eyes and try to imagine this scenario. Ross, Chandler, Phoebe, Joey, Monica, and Rachel all walk into the apartment, except instead of Jennifer Aniston's dimpled face, you see a completely different actress. Sounds crazy. We know. We can't imagine any other actress playing the sweet, mysterious Rachel, but back in the day, Jen wasn't sure she would play the character. Producers, showrunners, and Jennifer herself revealed that Jen was filming both Friends in another show called Muddling Through when the Friends opportunity came.
Someone must have stolen my credit card. and sort of just put the receipt back in your pocket.
The producer stated that it was an all-out bloodbath to try and see which series would outlive the other so that they could get Jen all to themselves. Jen had filmed 2 to 3 episodes of Friends while working on the other series. The showrunner stated that they took the risk, believing Jen was the perfect Rachel. Showrunners ever revealed that if CBS had picked up the muddling through series, they would have had to reshoot the first few episodes, which would have been super expensive. A similar situation occurred with everybody's favorite good guy, Chandler, played by Matthew Perry. Matthew was set to appear in a show about LAX baggage guys from the future. We know, it sounds like a total mess. Lucky that mess didn't take off. Get it? The show wasn't picked up, and Matthew stayed on as Chandler. We wouldn't have it any other way. Matthew also went on to reveal that he wasn't always excited to get in front of a live studio audience.
But I was off the market because I had taken a job.
Something that phased out with the mid to late 2000s. Matthew spoke on the pressures of the extremely successful series, saying,
It's a very loving, tight-knit group.
"To me, I felt like I was going to die if they didn't laugh. It's not healthy for sure, but I would sometimes say a line and they wouldn't laugh, and I would sweat and just go into convulsions if I didn't get the laugh I was supposed to get. I would freak out." His co-stars, especially Lisa Kudrow, were taken back by the revelation, with Kudrow saying, "You didn't tell us that."
I've thought about it. I don't think it makes for great storytelling.
"I don't remember you ever saying that." To which Matthew replied, "I felt that every single night." Wow, that sounds like a lot of pressure. The cast must have felt like stand-up comedians. Matthew was very emotional about the reunion, even shredding a few tears as he looked back on his character Chandler. We all knew a sob session was in order, but Matthew really brought on the feels. Speaking of Chandler, did you know that he and Monica were meant to be a one-night stand? Yes, folks. The second greatest couples of the series was meant to be a midnight mistake. Writers went into great detail about the thought process of each episode in each season. They revealed that fan opinions were often taken into account, citing the case of Monica and Chandler as a perfect example. In the episode titled "The One with the Truth About London," Monica comedically pops out of Chandler's bed to reveal that the two had hooked up. The writers said that once they heard the studio audience's reaction to seeing those two together, they knew something special had to happen.
Well, if we owe it.
But they were still apprehensive, with writer Kaufman stating, "We still at that point didn't realize how far it would go." Well, Chandler and Monica became a staple couple and a source of some serious laughter. Courtney Cox said what everyone was feeling when she said, "It was life-changing and it will forever be, not just for us but for the people who watched it."
Everything look exactly the same, and these incredible friends that even though I see.
This classic resulted in thousands of hours of reruns, and even a short-lived spin-off series titled Joey, featuring Matt LeBlanc's character Joey as he moves on to seemingly greener pastures. Let us know in the comment section below if you watched that show. Perhaps the major bombshell that defies fan demands and Hollywood's penchant for reboots is that there will be no, and we repeat, no new Friends episodes coming out. No matter what fans would have wanted, the show's writers, crew, and most importantly, cast all felt that the story was told beautifully and completed flawlessly. Sometimes, it's better not to mess up a good thing. With reboots like Punky Brewster, Full House, and iCarly all coming back, it's hard to not fall into the trend, but the cast isn't budging. The series has touched generations, and maybe leaving it the way it was will continue the legacy in the best way possible. We agree. Well, there you have it. The Friends family reunion was certainly one to be remembered. What did you think about seeing the entire cast together again? Any amazing celebrity cameos you couldn't get enough of? Which awkward star-studded encounters left you cringing?
It was just the most emotional thing, and what's her?
Let us know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and would love to see more like it, then give us a big thumbs up and subscribe for even more cool content just like this. See you in the next one.